22nd council meeting to order. Clerk, please call.
Jim?
Here.
Forrest?
Here.
Lisa? Here. Marie?
Here.
Bryce?
Here.
Good roll. All right, if you all stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have a motion to act on the council minutes of June 24th and July 10th.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? If not, clerk, please go over.
Jim?
Aye.
Forrest?
Aye.
Lisa?
Aye.
Marie? Aye. Bryce?
Aye.
I don't see any public here for public appearances. Last call. All right, we're going to move to the committee reports. You start with P&F first.
No meeting held.
Public Works and Development. Jim.
We had a meeting. The Public Works and Development Committee was called to order at 4 p.m. by Chairperson Bansma, members present, Bansma, Schmitz, members absent, Fensky, also in attendance, Sergeant Stocks. Motion by Schmidt, second by Bansma to approve the June 5th, 2025 minutes. All voting aye, motion carried. Public appearance, none. Cody Vanderhey, Director of Public Works, provided a monthly update on the DPW and water, wastewater departments. Also gave an update on the water, wastewater treatment plant, update on the mill and overlay projects, update on the East Walnut Street construction. Discussion was held on citywide housekeeping. The police department and DPW will start enforcing ordinances that are being violated. Abandoned items such as vehicles, furniture, and other items will be addressed. Lawn mowing and weed control measures will be enforced. Motion by Banswell, second by Schmitz, approved annual 2025 GIS. All voting aye, motion carried. Motion by Schmitz, second by Banswell, approved 2025 GSI grant. All voting aye, motion carried. Schmitz to approve the removal of the islands from the public safety. All voting aye, motion carried. Set the next meeting for August 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the DPW conference room. Motion by Banswell, second to Schmitz to adjourn. All voting aye, the meeting adjourned at 4:35 p.m.
Thanks, Jim. All right, Public Safety, Marie.
Public Safety met on July 8th. All members present. We made a motion to approve minutes that passed. No public appearances. We did discussion on pedestrian safety. Police Chief Birkin provided a monthly update. Emergency Management Director Biederman provided a monthly update. No update from EMS or the fire department. We made a motion to approve operator licenses, 1-year operator licenses and 2-year operator licenses for several people. Next meeting is August 12th, 6 o'clock, Public Safety Building, and then motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Park and Rec, Bryce.
Park and Rec was called to order at 6:03 by Chairperson Remy. Members present were Remy, Sullivan, Ernst, and Mookie. Absent was Cruel. We approved last month's minutes. There was a park report, a rec report, and an aquatic report given. Cruel arrived at 6:10. Friends of the Horicon Parks update is received $3,000 from the state, and we're working with Senator Baldwin's office to finalize that. And we have funds for a new playground for Addy Park. There was a motion to approve the Horicon Kiwanis Club request for a new range, and then there was another request that was approved for the cross-country meets. We discussed the 4-line construction in October to make sure the school was aware of that, and then discussion on the 2026 park plan update, and then we set next meeting for Tuesday, August 19th at 6 p.m. at District Park, and adjourned at 6:41 p.m.
Thank you. Plan Commission, Lisa.
They met in regular session. The meeting was called to order at 6 o'clock. Members present was Moss, Anfinson, Biederman, Gollenbeck, Herring, Sullivan, and Vanderhey. Members absent were C. Vanderhey, Magnuson, and Westermeyer. Also in attendance was Andre Lasema from Lake 407 LLC and Alex Williams from MSA. Motion by Vanderhey, second by Sullivan to approve the minutes from the May 12th meeting. All voted in favor. There were no public appearances. Westermeyer arrived at 6:02. Motion by Vanderhyde, second by Atkinson, to recommend to the city council the certified survey map for Lake 407 LLC, 407 East Lake Street, based upon the conditions put forth by the MSA. All voted in favor. Motion to adjourn by Atkinson, second by Herring. All in favor, meeting adjourned at 6:08.
Thank you. Library report.
All right, so summer library program is starting to wrap up. We are in our week 8 of 9. So if you want to join our summer library program, you've got this week and next week. But it's going well. Our numbers aren't quite where I wanted it to be, but we're still seeing really good participation and very good positive comments. We had Mark Hayward, who was a yo-yo guy. He came yesterday, and a lot of people, the parents that came, they were like, we didn't know if we'd like this, but we loved it.
We saw his marshmallows.
The marshmallow's still there.
I'll grab that when I
It's-
leave.
That was great. Very fun.
So that was really fun. It was kind of our last performer of this summer, and I'm really glad it turned out well. Regarding the emergency shelter, since we have the heat advisory on Wednesday, we are open normal hours. We did get a phone call today asking if we extend our hours due to advisories and all that kind of stuff. And I said, currently, no, we don't have any policy in place. But I will bring that up with Alex when she has a moment to breathe after she comes back Thursday. And then for the tornado warnings on Wednesday, the 16th of this month, we got messaged via Facebook asking if we are a tornado shelter, and I responded back via the library Facebook page saying, yes, we are, but we're open normal hours. Again, we don't extend hours unless there's an active tornado. So that is something that I will bring up with Alex, is maybe putting a policy in place that we can extend hours if we have the staff personnel for it. But then the person who messaged us, she did share it to a local Facebook group. Can't remember which one at the moment, but she shared it and said, by the way, the library is open and stuff like that. So that was nice. But all good in library land. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, for my report, I'm just gonna make it short and sweet because I think the next thing on the agenda is very important. I just want to thank you guys. The last 2 months, you folks at Baker Tilly have really assisted and opened our eyes. I think your presentation in the next few minutes is going to be very useful to our council. And on that note, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you for those kind words. As a refresher, my name is Paul France, the principal with Baker Tilly, located in Milwaukee, and I am the engagement lead partner for the financial audit of the city and the utilities. Happy to say that we've issued an unmodified opinion for your December 31st, 2024 audit. What that tells you in that term is all necessary disclosures within that financial statement document, which I believe was included in your packet and shared previously, are appropriate and all should be within there, that the statements are free of material misstatement, that all accounting principles under GASB and GAAP have been applied consistently year over year, and that ultimately when you hire a third party to do an external financial audit, this is the outcome you look to hear. It's a clean bill of health, again, highest level of assurance that we can give you. One thing I'll note, if you were to compare that to last year, you would note that there are a section of emphasis of matter. In my opinion, there were some new GASBs this year related to compensated absences that we've implemented and are in effect and in line with city policy. And so again, up to date with what you need to be there. From a financial highlight standpoint, again, I won't spend a ton of time highlighting numbers in there, but the general fund still remains in a very strong financial position. I like to take fund balance, your unassigned category. So first, your general fund balance is just under $5.7 million. Of that, 5.7 million, 4.2 million is unassigned, meaning that's the true savings account or reserve of the main operating fund of the city. I like to take that unassigned number. So again, that 4.2 million and divided by your total year expenditures to come up with a percentage. So your total budgeted expenditures in the general fund is about 4.8 billion in a given year. So you have what, 88% of fund balance reserves to cover almost an entire year's expenditure in the general fund. I look for that number to be at least somewhere between 10 to 25%. So you are in a very strong financial position, but you certainly should be aware that there are dollars in fund balance that are available to you for future projects or spend down of debt. You know, you're in a strong financial position, and just having a plan and an understanding of what sits in your reserves. Again, I have communities that are well above 25%. I have ones that are well below 10%. It's really, is there an active conversation around what is the right number for us to have? And so I don't know that you have currently a fund balance policy, but it is something that you could discuss as you move forward as a council to evaluate what that right percentage is for you to maintain good financial fiscal policy and give you the flexibility if something were to happen that isn't planned in the budget, but also feel like you are not carrying too much fund balance. So that certainly isn't the message I'm delivering. Again, I have communities that are 150, 175% in this calculation, and there are reasons why that number are becomes the number. It's just, again, being aware of what it is and where we want to operate at. Any questions with that? Okay. Audit process went very smooth, very consistent to what it had been in previous years. Our work was done before any office transition. You know, I worked with Josh and Chris to wrap up loose ends from the audit standpoint, but our work was, for all intents and purposes, done, and we were in the reporting stages. And so I've been working with Josh and Chris to talk about what are things that will be different as we move forward into 2025's audit, because that audit process will be very different because there will be different hands involved in the mechanisms of doing things. And, you know, when you have somebody in a position for as long as you did, things were done consistently. We build out an audit plan. We know what to expect. We know what to fix. We know what's going to be right. So when there are different hands, there are different risks and different things that happen, and just ultimately preparing and developing a plan accordingly to make sure that you have good processes in place. You know, challenging again how things could be done differently is all part of it, but really just trying to play a supportive role in it. You know, there's nothing from conversations previous throughout the audit process or after that has raised any concern about direction that you're heading. It's just, again, being proactive in communicating and knowing that, you know, if we navigate to a plan, it can ultimately have an effect on the outcome of audits in the future. And so just know we're here to play a role in helping you through that to prevent any significant delays. Continuing on, we also reporting an insights letter. This would be where if we had findings and recommendations from the audit process, we highlight them. We continue to note that there's a lack of segregation of duties within the main accounting function of the city and utility. Not unusual, as I've communicated to you in the past. And again, as you talk about what the office looks like going different, you know, I don't know that you eliminate that by doing anything different in splitting positions or whatnot. It's, as a board, it's just an understanding that risk exists. Make sure that you're doing your due diligence and what is presented to you. You know, and we drill in from an audit standpoint, looking at the key controls of how the limited segregations that you have operate, and if there's areas of recommendations, we certainly highlight them and have highlighted them to the transition discussions that we're having, and we'll highlight further. Also, we have material weakness around financial reporting, and what that's telling you is that we have journal entries that we do throughout the course of the audit. We've had consistently, I'd say over the last 10 years, somewhere between 20 to 30 in a given year, mostly utility driven type entries. And again, that's just, there's some up differences between the utility and the city and how things get accounted for. And, I would expect that number to go up in the future. Why that's important, again, is if your auditor is making significant adjustments during the audit process, what that tells you as a governing body is that the financial data that you have at your fingertips may not be right throughout the individual decisions that you're having. And so through the transition, that's the discussion we're having about making sure you have to make those decisions in the future. But certainly when I think of audit, I certainly am aware that I do think we would see significantly more material type adjustments. That comment also ties into the fact that we prepare your financial statements, which is a cost benefit. It doesn't make sense to have a governmental specialist who prepares, and understands every reporting element of it. So you've chosen to outsource it. That is what your peers do. It isn't from my purview, unless you have somebody very passionate about wanting to get involved in it. The cost outweighs the benefits in having somebody within a management team focus on their time in preparing this report. And so that comment won't go away. Having somebody in a seat that understands what's in here is what's most important. So again, nothing to concern to note with those, any different than maybe what we discussed in the past, just a little bit more detail about, since there is a transition going on, how that might play into what we're communicating there. With that, I'll pause. That's all my prepared remarks. Happy to take any questions that you have for me.
No.
Yeah, pay list. Again, I'm at your beck and call as need be. Again, as I was telling Josh and Chris beforehand, you have a runway here before you run into a good amount of treasure type things that would be unusual that the office wouldn't be working with, whether that's budget, tax season of collections and how that functions into the ledger, and ultimately prep for the audit, certainly available to you guys as you work through that. But really, again, that is what we're trying to discuss in advance to head off any big issues. So don't hesitate to reach out if you need me.
Thank you.
Otherwise, again, continues to be a privilege to work with everybody. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Thanks again, Paul.
Yep.
Moving forward, item 14, acting on ordinance 2519, establishing salaries and wages of the city officials and employees pursuant to 136.1 of the municipal code. Jim?
I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance establishing salaries and wages of the city officials and employees pursuant to section 136-1 of the municipal code.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Good, yeah. Clerk, please call the roll.
Jim,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Horace,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Christie.
Next, we're acting on ordinance 2520, repealing and recreating section 525-26-2, winter parking of the Muni Code for the city. Marie?
I'll make a motion to act on ordinance 2025-20, ordinance repealing recreating section 525-26-2, winter parking of the municipal code of the city of Horicon.
Second.
And just for discussion, the only thing that's changing is the last sentence. So overnight winter parking permits shall be assigned to a single vehicle and are valid on city streets within the city of Horicon and expire April 1 of each year. It previously was, or is currently technically, are subject to the street abutting a specific address. So it's just giving it to a single vehicle and then they can park anywhere in the city.
Any discussion or questions for Marie? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Marie,
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Horace,
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Next, we're acting on resolution 2505, which is combining authorizing the resolution for the urban forestry grant and urban forestry catastrophic storm grant programs. Jim?
I'd like to make a motion to approve, resolution 2025-05. Combined authorized resolution for urban forestry grant and urban forestry catastrophic storm grant programs.
Second.
All right, this is just basically empowering Cody to sign the grant, do all that stuff. Any other discussion?
There is no cost with this grant too, just for the application, there is 0 cost. We'll see what we get out on the other side. It would be basically allowing us to create another page on our GIS and have somebody come in and catalog the trees, which would help us in a disaster and also helps us with tree maintenance.
That's good. All right. Any comments or questions for Cody? All right, Matt, could you please call the roll.
Jim,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Christine. Aye. Marie,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
All right, next we're acting on the removal of the cement islands in the PSB parking lot. Jim?
Make a motion to remove the islands from the public safety parking lot.
Second. Oh, sorry, Jim.
Oh,
I got excited.
no,
Get rid of those things.
no, it's fine.
Any discussion on the island removal?
The lights all stay, it's just the islands that are going up, so the lights all still be there.
That's just for plowing?
Yeah,
For
it
plowing.
helps plowing and
My cops keep running into them, so. What? They did one time. But yeah, there's no purpose for them. There really isn't. It'll make it a ton easier for plowing, and they're all full of black marks where people don't see them and they hit them.
Yeah.
They come from municipal court, they're not familiar with that parking lot, so it's better just to have them on.
No, yeah.
And we're redoing the parking lot anyway, so it's,
Yeah.
It'll be easier to hit the light.
yeah.
yeah.
We're just gonna include this with our normal like hot mix patching that we do in-house and they'll mill it over and you won't even tell they're there when it's done.
All right.
Will that change the parking lanes at all?
Nope. We can if you'd like.
Instead of hitting the curb.
They'll just hit the light now.
I would just put that out there, Bryce.
Yeah, now it'll happen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Only we'll know who to blame.
I know a place for you to buy some new squads from.
I'm sure we can do some defensive driving courses there cheaper than a new squad.
That's what the charger's for. All right. Clerk, please call the roll.
Jim,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
All right, 18, we're acting on the GIS 2025 scope of services. Jim?
Make a motion to approve the GSI 2025 scope of services.
Second.
This is just our annual contract. I believe we're adding, and I don't have the numbers on me, but it would just be like the meters and their ongoing training and service. Not to exceed the budget amount.
Any questions for Cody? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Jim,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
All right, next we're to act on rescinding the CSM for bulk fluids. Lisa?
Make a motion to act on the rescinding of the certified survey map for bulk fluids.
Second.
Second.
Marie. Sorry, Jim.
I was
Reading.
into this, but in a different frame of mind.
Sorry.
Do you want to explain what we're doing?
Okay, so this is sat out there, from what I've been told and my perspective of it, I have had no contact with them. They hadn't contacted the previous city clerk treasurer. This has been sitting there. It's been sitting in limbo because it was approved to go to the county. I kind of stuck my neck out there and said, don't file it yet because you can only have so many CSMs on a piece of property because it just didn't seem like negotiation or like actually it's negotiations, but it didn't seem like it was going in a positive direction. So we held it up. You can go back and we can still make a CSM. This is literally just on our end. We're not using up a CSM on the.
And just for more background, when we were working with bulk fluids, plant expansion. They wanted to build out there at a level that nobody on that planning commission was willing to downgrade. They wanted to do cheap asphalt, thin driveway, gravel this, gravel that, when there's a real concerted effort to have that area out there developed nicely. And they just basically wanted it to be looking like what's at the corner of 33 and 26 now.
Yeah,
Nobody's moved there.
from anything from stormwater management to water lines to parking areas, everything was below what our minimum code would allow, and it just wasn't going in a positive direction. For them it was financial. For us, it was meeting, there was just too much. So we just never closed the gap.
And with the understanding that they, most of the conversation, they were looking at it as like it was a town hall growth.
Yeah.
Without it realizing it's actually inside the city limits.
Yeah.
And we have ordinances that match the city, not the town.
Yeah, so long and short, we didn't burn up one of our, I believe we can do 5 CSMs on a property. We didn't burn up one of them because after that, then we have to do it's like a subdivision plat, which is very expensive. So it just kept us from using one up and hopefully stopping that from happening.
So. All right, any other questions for Cody on this or Lisa? All right, Matt, please call the roll.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
All right, number 20, we're acting on the CSM. Behind us, Lisa.
I make a motion to accept the act on certified survey map 407 East Lake.
Second.
Any questions on this? Because I can explain this real. So basically, Andres owns all 3 of those buildings directly behind us. 407 is the one that had the greenhouse. So on the west, doing with this is similar to what they did with the house that abuts up to Mother's Day, is that they moved the property line about 10, 15 feet or so to the west in order to put that walkway and the tiered stone terraces in the back attached to the restaurant rather to 407. And it sounds like, after working with Rob Furrow and Cody and everyone downtown, is that there's a better chance than none that 407 is going to be demolished, because that building is absolutely awful on the inside, which would allow for some expansion for verandas or whatever they want to do. I guess the foundation of the basement is solid. Everything from ground level up should definitely need a wrecking ball. So, but that's going to be on them, not on us. They're just right now most concerned on moving the property that is the Aranda's property farther to the west, and that's what this CSM was. The changes that Alex from MSA was looking for were very minimal, and I think they're going to be met. There really wasn't, I can't remember exactly what they were, but I think it was just making sure that the entire of that sidewalk was fit in there, and just the planning commission wants to be updated, on where it's at. It wasn't anything structural in the CSM. It was more of how, like, the fonts and how the stuff was written out on the map, that it meets what MSA is looking for and what the county is looking for, than anything being actually wrong with the map. It was fonts and just stuff like that, which it has been met since then. Is there any questions on that?
No.
Roger. All right, if not, clerk, please go through.
Lisa,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Christine, Marie,
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
All right, next we're acting on the agreement between the city and GFL Solid Waste Midwest LLC. Forrest.
I'll make a motion to approve signing the letter from GFL to allow them to take over the contract from LRS.
Second.
And from what I'm reading, everything in their current contract with LRS is going to apply for GFL. So the same whole things that we had in that contract, they'll can honor.
My only question is, are they going to still hauling our garbage all the way back down to Janesville, or are they just hauling it to Washington?
Well, I don't care where they haul it.
I'm just curious.
To my knowledge, it's all going out to be.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Cost down in
Yeah.
the future. All right. Clerk, please call the roll.
Forrest,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Grace,
Aye.
Christie. Aye.
Next, we're acting on payment request number 2 from Copeland Keenest for East Walnut Cedar Reconstruction Project. Forrest,
I'll make a motion to approve the partial payment for the Copeland Canals Company work that they've done at Walnut. Cedar Street is provided in your packet in the amount of $318,131.32.
Second.
any questions on the payment request? If not, clerk, please call the roll.
Forrest,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Christine. Aye. Lisa,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Bruce.
Aye.
Next, we're acting on a request for the use of Riverbend by the school. Bryce,
I'll make a motion to approve the use of Riverbend Park, by the Horicon School District for Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and Thursday, September 25th, 2025.
Second.
your cross-country meets.
Yep.
All right, any other questions on this? Lisa, do you have a question?
I just wondered, what are they using it for? I mean,
Cross-country.
Cross-country?
It's every year.
Yeah,
We talked about this at Parks Board too, where they normally clean up better the park than they
Yeah.
have it.
yeah, I remember.
Call the roll, please.
Grace,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Christine. Aye. Forrest,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Christie.
You just love me so much, you have to say it twice. Want to vote again?
All right, next, we're acting on a donation of the new range for the Kiwanis Park building. Bryce,
So move.
Second.
Just a heads up, they're letting Silica install it, so Silica will take away the old one as well.
Oh, nice.
Grace, you did get a second?
That's really nice of them to do
That's
that, to donate that.
Yeah.
Because they just donated the fridge, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, that's excellent. All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Grace,
Aye.
Christine.
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Next, we're acting on past due. Jim,
I'd like to make a motion to pursue the bills that are past due. Especially, what brought this up is that our farmland was rented out last year to Zastrow, and he decided to terminate his lease, and we haven't received payment from him for the last year that he was renting it, which is what, $2,700? 2,500. And my opinion is continue to send them some invoices, which really haven't been for a while, right? No invoices, but continue to invoice them, and if we don't hear from them, send the bill to collections.
I'll second that.
How much does it cost to do collections? Just curious.
For us, they take a percentage of what they make, so.
Oh, okay.
Can we add a fee on if they send it to collections?
Yes, she charges a 5% admin fee.
Okay, so like they would owe,
Even on the invoice, there'll be a 5% admin.
okay, so we won't come out of our pocket, they would.
Nice.
Okay.
Everything.
Yeah, they should pay their bills. Everybody else has to.
Does he have to pay all at once if he's strapped financially, or can he make payments?
We can set up payments with our
Payment
office.
plan?
Yes.
A little irritating because, he was paying $2,500 for many years. I mean, my understanding, it was a handshake agreement. They were, initially it said he was happy to find someone to rent land at a last minute, basis. And it just continued on. And finally, last year we said, hey, we know we can get a lot more money, rent money than what we're getting. And we'll open it up to bids. And I mean, we're getting 4 times the amount of land rent than what he was paying. So I mean, he got a bargain for all those years, and the last year he's gonna stiff us on top of it. I mean,
he also wanted to drop the payment significantly because of the land that was bought by money.
right.
Yeah, so he had there's been a reduction in acreage that you can farm, and yet we got, Jim said, like 4 times the amount.
Yeah, that's the difference there. So we do have a motion and a second. I might as well vote. Clerk, please call the roll.
Jim,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie, Bryce,
Aye.
Christie.
Aye.
All right, next we have the operator licenses. Marie,
I'll make a motion to approve operator license for 1 year ending June 30th, 2026 for Nehemiah Sharon and Tammy Van Buren.
Second.
any questions or comments for Chief or Marie? Like that, clerk, please call the roll.
Marie,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
I'll make a motion for operator licenses for 2 years ending June 30th, 2027 for Alyssa Eichhorst, Brenda Grease, Jessica Lilly, Joanne Link, Amber Nelson, Siobhan Worley, and Arturo Angel.
Second.
Any questions for Chief or Marie? Clerk, please call the roll.
Marie,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Christine.
Aye.
All right, right, you got bills for June, Forrest.
Motion to approve the bills for June in the amount of $542,275.32.
Second.
Any questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Forrest,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Christine.
Aye.
Jim, can we adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, wait.
Aye.
I need to have a request for a special council meeting where you need to, for the next council meeting, to talk about, we got today some stuff from the Historical Society that's not gonna make it to the next council meeting. So we have to have a special one. And then the union negotiations are ready to come before council. And they are looking to meet on July 29th.
I don't think we can talk about it, 'cause it's not on the agenda.
Well,
You'll have to work with him to schedule it.
okay, that's fine. I just wanna put it out there.
I just don't want the sheriff back here yelling.
No, it's fine.
We'll work with it.
That's fine.
All right, Jim's got a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Well, clerk, please call the roll.
Jim,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
All right, meeting is adjourned at 6:38. I'm ending the screen.
So what?
Oh, what?
Tonight.
Oh.